close to the camera.
He's
Look, he's 5 pounds right now.
We're here at the media day for the 2021 Bassmaster Classic on Ray Roberts.
This is a tank. Look at this. Look at the size of this thing.
Progress we've made so far on our Hobie PA14. Got it wired up for 12 volt right now. We got the P127. That money!
That's a monster!
Got one. Took him long enough, didn't it? He knows. You know that's your outro.
I know, but I mean, like, I was waiting on you because, like, you just kind of put me on the spot and it's like it didn't flow. Right?
Whatever. All right, guys. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to One Objective tonight. Guys, we have got a really good show lined up for y'all. We got, I'm going to say special guest, but he is co-host of the show most of the time, when we do them. But he's in studio, so it's special guest. Have we ever done one with you in studio?
I don't think so. This is the first time.
Yeah, I know.
First time being in the Carter Studios.
Yeah, I mean it's magical in here. A lot of fish and stuff and clutter, but it's magical in here. So, no, it's good to have you on, man. It's good to have you here. I know you're here celebrating Christmas with your family right now. So was able to work in a little bit of time to have you here. Most of the time, like some of the shows we've been doing, you ain't been able to do it, but it's been busy. You know what I mean? Like, people don't understand. Well, some people maybe do, but some people don't understand. It's a lot that goes on with the getting the wheels to turn right at One Objective. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of wheels for two people.
Yeah. So James kind of takes care of a lot of our designing. He takes care of a lot of our programming stuff for our runs for the next day on, to start our work week and getting our schedule together, what we need to build, what we need to run. And then, just designing new products. So, a lot of the designing and all that is James. I mean, he does a lot. I mean, we put our heads together on certain things, but a good portion of it, when it comes off the press, basically, it's James's design. How he did the computer work and designed it all to cut. So, it's been kind of like it's like we need about 4 more people. That's what I feel like sometimes. Some days.
Yeah, some days I do, but then some days I wouldn't want the headache.
Yeah, and then some days you're like, man, I'm glad we didn't have no more people. Working for us.
The difference was owning your own business, I guess.
Yeah.
You have your ups and downs, but it's all good at the end of the day.
Yeah. So it's so tonight's show, we wanted to do a 2023 wrap. I mean, I keep saying 2023. That's I'm really rushing this, man.
Yeah, I mean, don't go through a whole nother year. I don't want to miss a whole year of my kids.
I know, and I'm just like rushing this 2022 wrap up. Just talking about our season in general with fishing, filming, products, and then things that we got coming for 2023. That I think a lot of people are going to really like. We're not going to really discuss any new products tonight. No. We're going to just kind of tell you we got some stuff in the pot stirring right now.
Oh yeah, we got a few in the pot.
So, but before we get into all of that, I want to thank 2 good sponsors that's come on board with us this year. One of them is new to us, but one has been with us basically since day one. And then last year we kind of we'll talk about that in a little while. We kind of pulled out from promoting, and we'll tell you why in a little while. But Missile Baits, want to thank them for all their support with helping us out with tackle. They've got some really great new stuff they've been working on. We got, what was it we just got in the mail the other day?
The Chunky D.
Yeah, the Chunky Ds. I want to keep saying the D chunks, but
the old Chunky D.
The old Chunky Ds. Those are pretty sweet. I'm excited because they're going to be a versatile bait. That's going to be a very versatile bait.
Oh yeah. I mean, you could use it for flipping, jig trailer. You can use them back for chatterbait, spinnerbait. Just, I mean, pretty much everything. It's kind of like a little good go-to. If you had to put one bait in your bag to kind of do a little bit of everything, I think that would be the one.
Yeah, the Chunky D I think is going to be sick. I think,
and it's got a badass name.
Yeah, it does got a Chunky D. So, oh man, I never really thought of that. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, like, what are you throwing? I'm throwing that Chunky D. You know what I'm saying?
That old Chunky D. But
see,
there we go. That's why we can't be in studio together. But I want to also thank a new sponsor that just came on board with us. We'll be doing some videos for you guys, showing you some of these new products we got. Waterland sunglasses. A lot of you guys know Milliken Fishing. He wears Waterland sunglasses. There's several pros that wear Waterland.
Oh yeah,
and got a really great product can't wait to start showing you guys the different lenses, the different colors, and why we wear what we wear with the colors and all that stuff. So I want to thank Waterland. If you want, you can get 15% off of Waterland right now if you go there at checkout and put in.
Here.
Yeah, Chris is putting a promo code up now.
Point at it with my phone, but I can't. Right there.
Yeah.
Chris is the brains of the operation right now.
Yeah. I never have all this going. But if you put in One Objective, all caps, at your checkout.
Don't put the quotes in.
Yeah, don't put quotes in.
That's just there to show you the code. There.
Yeah. You get 15% off of your next order there. So make sure you go check that out. Help support the show and also support a great company. They're not a big company. They're a small company too. So it's great to, when we had conversations with them of how the company works and how they're not some just big company out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're a good family run operation. So get 15% off One Objective at your checkout. So also big news for us and for hopefully a lot of our listeners is we finally got all the crap straight with One Objective with iTunes. We still ain't got that crap straight with One Objective. We're still working on that.
That's a never ending process.
But with iTunes, so we had to start a whole new iTunes account there for a while because none of our shows were going up. Everything was all jacked up because of the software we switched over. We got it all switched finally. Big thanks to iTunes for helping out with that because we went through another outlet that was trying to help with it and it did not work. So iTunes, thank you for that. Big time. So all of our new shows will be back onto our original iTunes account. I took the other iTunes account down. So all of our followers that we've built over the years, all of our new shows will be there. And y'all probably one day opened your phone up and was like, holy crap, what is all these shows that just popped up? But it's just stuff that we've been doing that, I don't think nobody knew that we couldn't get them up there. So anyways, that's up. Also, our new YouTube channel, One Objective Outdoors. We just got our intro done and our outro done.
Yeah.
So you'll be seeing that in some of our new videos.
Mm-hmm.
We got some stuff in the works that we're still working with. Tackle prep. It's gonna be a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Here lately.
For right now.
Yeah. It's cold.
It's gonna be like in the 11 degrees up here and be 18 back home would be a low. I'm not really that interested in getting on the water, but who knows?
Yeah. Back in our younger days, we've done it, but
oh yeah, it'd been fun, but now it's not fun.
Yeah.
We're old and
my bones hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels like it beats me down when I come off the water at the end of the day.
Well, it's just wearing all them clothes.
Yeah.
Because we're so, we're
So
old.
old. And, come off, our back hurts.
Yeah. From wearing bibs all day. And trying to get out of the boat and slipping and sliding. But,
So those days are done. So the boat's being parked right now until we might get a break here and there. You know how Virginia weather is.
Catch that warm day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll probably be 80 degrees next week.
Yeah.
But,
we'll get a blizzard and then the next day we'll have 20 inches of snow on the ground and it'll be 80 the next day.
Yeah.
So,
that's why we do it around here.
Yeah. So then you just go fish all the runoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be some cold runoff.
Yeah. But that's what you got to find. That's what they say. You got to find the runoff. But I think that works more during the summer. But
yeah, I would.
But yeah, so we got, if you can, just go check out One Objective Outdoors. You can find it through our regular YouTube channel. You can find it. You can go through our Facebook, whatever. But just type in One Objective Outdoors. You'll see it on there. We got our new logo. We just got our new intro outros. So the channel's doing really good so far. I've been really impressed.
To be a new channel,
yeah. It's tough starting from scratch. Like we forgot kind of what it was like, and I ain't gonna lie. I've posted a couple videos and I'm like, what the crap's going on? Why are we getting the views? But
I talked Josh off the ledge.
I was ready to just jump. I'm like, no cord, just I'm going, man.
Oh man.
I'm like, I'm just tired of this. But it actually it's doing really well. And for like I say, we've just started it. It's got 196 subscribers or something like that. So if you can, while you're watching or after the show or whatever, go hit that subscribe button, man, because that's where all our fishing content's going to be. Like, our tackle rigging, our tackle, review videos, all that's going to be there. One Objective Bass Fishing is going to be our show. It's going to be new products that we've come out with, and or new products that we're adding to our boats or kayaks, stuff like that, rigging stuff. So, but this way, I think everybody can, if you just want to go watch fishing stuff, you can go on One Objective Outdoors. And it's also going to be ATVs. It's going to be hunting, which we didn't do much of. I realized after trying to film with Matthew how hard it truly is to film a hunt.
Oh, it is. I could imagine that. You'd almost have to have something set up and just running
Yeah.
the whole time, and then just pick that 2 minutes out of the whole video that you're going to use to put in the video.
Yeah. I give it to these guys like Buckmasters and
Yeah,
Michael Waddell and
yeah.
all of them, because it's a lot of work, man. I mean, you got to have another guy that just does the camera work, and then like a GoPro, I don't think is sufficient enough. Maybe to have like your inside the stand looking at you, or
Yeah.
maybe just kind of getting that side shot, but like to really hone in on that deer.
Yeah, you have to have a really good something that zooms in and out to be able,
Really
because if
smooth,
the deer's
yeah.
moving, it'd be hard to pick them out, I think.
Yeah, it's tough. I give it to them guys. So we're gonna do our best with that, but it's probably gonna be a lot of shorts
Yeah.
that you see, or reels,
Yeah.
or whatever, through
Yeah.
YouTube with hunting. But also congratulations to Austin. He got his first deer yesterday.
Yeah. My 8-year-old knocked down his first little button buck yesterday. That was a pretty amazing deal.
Yeah.
Pretty emotional, really. I
Yeah.
mean, it was, a lot of fist bumping, hugging, tears were shed. I mean, it was happy tears, not sad tears, but I mean, it was a pretty awesome deal.
Well, it's one of them deals that, like I told Matthew when he killed his first one this year, I was like, you will remember this one. You will shoot 20 or 30 other deer,
Yep.
but you will remember this one. You know what I mean?
Oh,
or your big first buck. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You'll
yeah.
remember that. But like I told him, I said, I have shot other deer and can vaguely remember the experience, but I can always remember my first one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think he finally got that first burst of adrenaline.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't know what it was, or it was like just a deer fever or whatever it was. But I mean, when it was done, I mean, he was like, "What is this going on?" I'm like, buddy, that's adrenaline, isn't it? And I mean, he was just stoked. I mean, it was a pretty awesome deal.
Yeah.
Glad I could be there with him, sitting in the same stand.
Exactly.
To see this, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's what's cool. That's memories for both of y'all. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah.
That's memories that'll never die for
Yeah.
both of y'all.
Yeah, if he forgets it, I won't.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. So, and like say, them catching their first fish, them killing their first deer, it's always stuff that you just remember. You know what I mean? And it's awesome to be part of that experience. I don't know if I would, I don't know, being greedy, I guess, but like if I wasn't there for my son when he caught his first fish, or I wasn't there when he killed his first deer,
Yeah.
that's something I think would eat at me more
Yeah.
than it will them.
Oh,
You know what I mean? But like now you got the experience. You taught them how to do it. You know what
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean? Like, and it now they're engaged. Now they're ready to go and catch or kill another deer or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like he's ready to go again.
Yeah.
But he didn't like what I made him do after the fact.
Yeah. The work.
Yeah, the work part. He was just ready to go sit in the house. I'm like, no. That's
No.
not how this works.
This is the fun part now.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold this leg. I won't make you do all the major stuff, but you're gonna
learn.
you're gonna watch.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I told Matthew. I said, your next deer. So I gutted his first one, and then the other ones I shot, and then but he's watched me, and I made him watch me. So you learn. I said, your next one you drop, it's your turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to learn what that gut smell sounds like when you get it. You're going to learn where not to cut.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm excited to get him back out in the woods again. Hunting season's kind of winding down here. I mean, you got late muzzleloader, but it's kind of winding down for us. It's getting really, really cold. I'm a weenie. I don't like sitting out there in that super. I don't have the outfit for it right now.
Yeah. I wouldn't have probably went yesterday if I didn't have a blind to get in.
Yeah. It was
we-
cold yesterday.
We had a little pop-up blind, and I actually had a little Mr. Buddy heater in there with us too. But we also it happened really quick. So
yeah.
we weren't in the woods but for like an hour and a half or something after we got set up. But yeah, we wouldn't have been in there long.
No.
Gary's getting ready to order a mount for his Old Town Sportsman.
Oh, right.
All
on.
right. Which ones you got? The pedal drive or the?
I didn't say, just the Old Town Sportsman.
All right, man. Well, like I say, if you got any questions, always feel free to call us. That I do want to touch base on that. We do get some people that get very upset with emails and messages on Instagram and Facebook and all that. We don't get all, and sometimes we just don't get the notification for it.
Non-pedal 120.
Non-pedal. Okay.
Oh.
We got everything. So
Oh yeah.
just get your order in. We'll get it shipped out.
Yeah, it'll probably ship tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you put it in tonight or even first thing in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but if you guys ever or can't get in touch with us through email, messenger, all that, our phone number's out there. Always feel free to call us, in business hours, not
Yeah.
10 or 11
Right.
o'clock at night,
Yeah.
on a weekend.
Or 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. We got a couple of those too. But yeah, we're a 2-man operation here. So
Yeah. Or text messaging at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't.
yeah. So
Unless you're like from like Japan or something like that. And,
yeah, then they just don't know,
yeah.
and
Google.
yeah. See what time it is over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
What time is it in Virginia? We're on Eastern time. So
I didn't realize it's a 14-hour difference.
yeah. So, but no, like I said, we appreciate everybody. It's followed us this year. That's encouraged us through the tournament season. It's been fun. Like we've had a really good time. This was something that we've wanted to do for a while, but like last year we cut back. We were focusing 100% on the business, and then family too. We were doing some family things, and both of our families, they get along really well. We go on camping trips together. So we were just trying to focus on business and family was helping us with the business a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Especially during the summer, when the kids are out of school, they help us a lot. So, but I just don't think in 2021 we were as organized as we are now.
Oh, no, we are not. We weren't.
Yeah.
Nowhere near what we are now.
I think things happened so quick that we wasn't prepared. You know?
Yeah.
And from COVID up, you know what I mean? From 2020, 2021, we're starting to get it towards the end of 2021. And then 2022, we were pretty good. Like we were able to get orders out pretty quickly for the most part.
Yeah.
Things went really well business wise for that.
Oh, yeah.
So, we're going to have mistakes. We're going to send a wrong part. We're going to send a package with missing some hardware. Sometimes it does happen. It's just,
and that's 100% mine and his fault.
Yeah, 100%. Nobody else to blame.
Yeah.
Unless the kids there, we'll just blame it on them. But it could have been us still that did.
Yeah,
it.
but I guess
Yeah,
they're pretty young.
yeah. We got young kids working with us, so
So
we did have a call a while back talking about our QA department. I'm like, yeah, well, that's all. We're in assembling, we're in manufacturing, we're in shipping, we work HR.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to set each other down in HR every now and then.
Yeah.
And just
yeah. You got to watch what you're saying.
Have
man.
a one-on-one, or sometimes we have one-on-ones with ourselves.
God.
He's the old Stuart Smalley, whatever his name was from SNL, where he talks to himself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Doggone it, you're good enough.
Yeah, you are good.
You're good.
You're going to do a good job today.
Yeah.
You're an asset to the company.
Yeah, mine actually goes the opposite way. It's not a positive.
Yeah.
It's not a positive set.
You're a dummy.
Yeah,
in the mirror.
yeah, yeah. It's all good though.
Yeah. But before we get further into this too, guys, I want to let y'all guys know that if you haven't yet, make sure you go sign up for our newsletter on One Objective. All our new products come out there because we get a lot of people all the time. Hey man, when is this going to drop? When is this going to drop? And sometimes we are working on that at the moment when they call. So I always refer people to go sign up for our newsletter because that's where all of our newest products go there first. It is put there first, and then it goes up on YouTube, and then it goes up on Facebook and all that. So, and also we have been doing some sales through our newsletter. So go in there and check that out. This year we're going to work on some more stuff with odd and end sales here and there, flash sales, stuff like that. It was really hard to do that last year because of just material
stuff.
Yeah,
and materials and everything.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to do sales when you ain't got stuff. You know what I mean? So, and we got a lot of people that was mad about it, but sorry, but it's just that was the way of the world.
Yeah, and we also have dealers too now, and so doing sales, and then that really doesn't give them the opportunity to sell the product, and that's what we want.
Yeah.
So
because we're a dealer for several companies as well, and it is tough when you see. And I'm not bashing them. Everybody has their way they run their business. But it is tough when you see a dealer doing a sale that you cannot match.
Yeah.
That you absolutely cannot. That you will go in the hole to match the sale that they got. And it's tough. So we try not to mark our stuff down so far that the dealer can't compete. And it's only just for a couple of days. You know what I mean? I've seen some that are doing sales all through Christmas. I mean, we just can't, some of it we can't compete with. You know what I mean? So and it's not worth it. So, but anyways, so just make sure you go out there, sign up for our newsletter. We got deals that go through there all the time. We got sales. We also do like their best products that sell through the week. So some people are like, man, I never even seen that, So it's just a good way to kind of learn with all what we got and tackle. And And we got some new tackle that's came in stock with our 6 cents. We got the Divine, we got the Whale.
Yeah.
All that's up on the website. So make sure you go check all that stuff out. Our tackle business is slowly growing.
It's progressing. Yeah.
Not as fast as we would like,
No,
but it's growing.
not as fast, but it is picked up a little bit,
Yeah.
especially from last year
Yeah.
till now. It's definitely so. Hopefully, 2023 will be even better, and we'll be rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I think so. And you know, we're gonna hopefully maybe one day open it fully to the public to come in.
Yeah,
Like a lot of our stuff's online. We have some people that stop by,
yeah,
but I mean, most of the time it's, you know, we know them. They call us, hey, you can be
Yeah.
open or whatever. But we're hoping here in the future to have a full-fledged tackle store opened in Cortland, Virginia.
yeah.
So you can walk in and buy
in
tackle. And
Hooks and Hammocks says hello.
Hooks and Hammocks. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. If you can, comment down.
Gary just says he's back. He just finished up his order.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Oh,
it come
right.
through. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you can, write in the comments where you're listening from. We like to know that. I love scrolling through and seeing where everybody's listening from. I always think it's pretty cool to see
Yeah.
where everybody's at and checking us out. So let's get into our 2022 season. At the beginning of the season, we didn't know what we were going to do. I mean, we were getting kind of ticked off because Bass was taking forever to come out with their schedule.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that drama. I'm not bashing Bass for it, but
No.
you know, I understand right now there's so many different kayak tournaments out there that I really do feel bad for the anglers. I do, but I don't, because
Yeah.
now they have whatever they want to fish. They can go
Yeah.
anywhere, they can fish anytime. But if you want to be a part of 2 or 3 trails, it's really tough
Oh,
because
yeah.
there's so many series out there.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so many good series is coming out. But like, you know, me and you, we fished the Hobie BOS and
And Bass.
Bass this year, and I mean, they both were great. They run
Yeah.
awesomely, both series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have no complaints. I mean, you know, there's odd and end stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm not going to get into it, but it's just odd and end stuff. You're like, I wish it was like this. But it's nothing that makes the series horrible. It's
No.
just, you know, I wished it was done a little bit different this way.
Yeah.
But if we all have that. You'll never run a perfect series. You make everybody happy. And we know that from running bass clubs. You know, I mean, you never make everybody happy.
No.
So you always got
It's
that
not-
one guy.
Oh,
Yeah. It can always be better.
Yeah. So, but
got Indiana and Southeast Kentucky.
all right. So, so we, at the time, we were like, all right, we're just going to basically, so we knew at the beginning of the year that Bass was going to be in Texas, and then Hobie was going to be at Toledo Bend, not far from where we were staying, a couple hours from where we were.
Yeah,
at. So we
yeah.
was like, while we're out there, we're just going to fish both of those and then probably focus primarily on Bass.
Yeah.
But then as the year went on,
Yeah.
we were kind of like, well, crap, that's a good tournament. Let's go there and
Well,
fish
no,
that.
we were going to focus on BOS.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We wasn't going to worry about Bass.
That was the goal, and then we were like, well, we'll fish the Bass tournament to kind of get our feet wet in this
Yep.
type of stuff, and then we ended up both doing pretty decent in those,
Mhm.
and then we were like, well, maybe
go
we
to the
should
next
fish
one.
Bass.
The man,
Yeah.
the myth, the legend has joined the chat.
Who's that?
The man, the myth.
Oh
legend.
man, Mr. Hensley,
Uh-oh.
man, myth, the legend. So yeah, and then you know, Toledo Bend was okay. I mean, you got to figure all these lakes that we fished this year, we have never been on. We have not fished one of these lakes.
Never.
No, none of them. The only time that we had any experience was when we were sitting at the computer and looked at it on Google. That's
Yep, that or looking at paper maps.
Yeah,
Other
that's
than
it.
that, we didn't have no,
yeah.
you know, and I guess TV.
Yeah, and TV. I mean, we
We had a
watch
lot of
lots of
TV.
YouTube and all that stuff. So the stuff that everybody does. So going into this, we don't. I mean, you kind of have an idea what bass do. I mean, we're not dummies. We fished bass tournaments for years in bass boats, and we fished local events, and we know that each fishery is different, but they also are the same. A bass is a bass is a bass. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So, so we kind of had an understanding what we were going to do. But so then we go to Toledo Bend. We have an okay event for the BOS. It could have been better,
Yeah.
but you figure things out late, and
Yeah.
you know, weather practice sucked for really, but Texas, we didn't practice. We had a great event for that.
Yeah, we had a great event.
Practice for Toledo Bend, and it was okay.
Yeah, I mean, we caught fish and we had a good time. but,
Yeah.
like, because it was nice that it was warm.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have been a different story if it would have been just as cold as it was
Mhm.
at Fork. Maybe That's what our problem was, you know.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Yeah. Well, you figure that big bad ice storm comes through. It hits somewhat of that part of Louisiana as well. And then by the time the tournament's over, we get to Louisiana. That night was cool, and then it started warming up 70s and 80s.
Yeah, I mean, like when we were practicing. It was dark.
Yeah.
And we were in shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
On Toledo Bend, just fishing some stuff that we knew we couldn't fish
During the tournament. Yeah. Because we just got our grass on, and the place that we were renting had a boat ramp. So during practice, we just put in there, and so we could go burn them up because no one else could really fish that area.
Yeah.
So there was no boat ramps a long ways.
Yeah, miles.
So we were up there catching spots.
Yeah.
You know, jerk baits playing around.
Yeah.
During the tournament. But
Yeah.
you didn't fish that spot. You went down and started cranking.
Yeah.
And then I had all kinds of trouble and come back and just Carolina rigged that spot the whole time
Yeah.
and got lucky.
Yeah.
And just,
Yeah. And I went way down, and then that wind hit.
yeah,
on
that was horrendous.
Yeah, on day one.
Yeah.
That was day one. And if I could have stayed down there where I was for like another 30 minutes, I probably could have caught my 5th fish for the
Yeah.
first day, but it wasn't happening. I mean, I felt like we were going to die by the time I got back there anyway.
And then I'm just catching fish one after another. All you needed was a 12-incher.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, come over here. I'm just steadily just setting the hook. And I mean, they're not all big. They're 12-inch fish. Some of them are 13, 14-inch fish. And you might throw one in there that's like 17, 18 here and there. And James comes over. I mean, the exact same stuff, man. Nothing. Like they just died.
Yeah, he even gave me
The bait.
And I mean, I'm chucking in the same spot, and they were just keep crushing his stuff. And then I could not catch one.
Yeah.
He probably caught 10 fish while I was sitting there, and I couldn't catch one more keeper.
But the ones you caught, though, on the crankbait were quality fish. Like you were on the right fish.
Yeah.
It just couldn't finish it out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how our season's been this year.
Yeah.
You go in and catch a limit, and I'm like, I need.
You were one shot.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened the second day is I caught 5 and you caught 4.
Yeah.
So we couldn't never finish the limit out,
Both days.
both of us.
Yeah.
And we finally did that closer to the end of the year.
Yeah. We started I don't know what changed, just fishing different. I don't know. I will say that, and we'll get into this here in a little bit, but you do change it. Like you figure out things as you're on the road and how you practice and how you break down water's different, you know, and we started figuring that out towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
And you could see like our progression as we were getting better with it. You know what I mean? And things that we normally spent more time on, we didn't, and focused more time on other things, you know? So, but you know, we left there from Toledo Bend, and then we were like, well, you were 3rd in points, on bass.
Yeah.
I think I was 30th something or something like that in points. So we're like, well, heck, let's go to Florida and fish that one on Harris Chain. Never been there. We've never fished any bodies of water in Florida, but I mean, small stuff, you know, we went to ICAST, we fished the pond and then all that stuff, but fishing a big system, we never fished it. And you catch a giant, you catch an 8-pounder during the tournament.
Yeah. That was awesome.
That was a 1-day event, right? That one
was a 1-day event.
Yeah. I'd have loved for that one to have been a 2-day.
Oh yeah. I think that it was setting up that, you know, when we put in, I mean, we practiced there 2 days. We actually practiced in that same spot for 2 days. And, you know, it just kind of all started coming together that we just figured it was so much water that we'd be better off just to figure out one instead of all these different things. And I think it worked out for us.
Yeah.
If I could have caught one more fish that tournament, I would have been a whole lot better off too.
Yeah.
But
it was tough, man.
But
yeah,
it is what it is.
But you know, that's the same kind of deal. Like even through practice, you were catching quality on a certain bait, and just flipping basically, and you were catching quality. But then that kind of died off for the tournament. Like it was a whole it was a reaction bite after. Like
I didn't catch anything on a flipping bait.
Yeah,
that was the day of the tournament. At the day of the tournament, I was catching them on a jerk bait at first, and then it just.
You caught that monster on a cranker.
Yeah, and I caught the monster on the crankbait, the teeny
crankbait. Yeah. And then I was throwing So in the morning, I lit it up. I was throwing a speed worm, but like I say, I'm catching 12s. Like I'm
Yeah.
catching limit fish. And the last day of practice, I'm like, look, I'm going to hit this. I'm going to catch my limit 12s because I got on a little bit of a frog bite that was about 11 o'clock. And I'm like, I'm going to catch my limit. And by 10:30, I'm going to start hitting pads and throwing a frog. And the wind picked up, and I don't know what happened. I'm not a good frog fisherman, so I don't know when to stop. I don't know when the conditions are great for it or when they're bad for it, basically. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Pad fish are different to me. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
So it just never happened. But I stayed with that frog the rest of the day, and it just never happened. So but you caught big fish of the tournament. You won
Yeah.
big fish of that event. We come out of there, and you were 5th in points.
Yeah.
And I think I moved up to like 10th or something like that. I can't remember. I was
Yeah.
up there. I moved up a lot, but I didn't have that great of a. I mean, I was 30th something,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like a super great
Yeah.
finish, but respectable. So then we're like, all right, well, heck, let's go to Santee Cooper. Let me tell you what, that by far, that was, I don't even like talking about that lake. Like
yeah.
I know it's a phenomenal fishery. I mean, Bass Elites went down there and flat out wore them out.
The week before.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, maybe they sore lipped every fish.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, but
tough.
it was super tough for us. And I mean, you would think it was set up good for us. And I mean,
Yeah.
we went everywhere on that lake, and it just wasn't. Something had changed.
Yeah.
In that time frame. I mean, there's a very few people that caught them really good down
Yeah.
there, and a lot of people were struggling.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just us, which is good and bad all at the same time. But
well, I mean, looked at it. If we would have caught, and I know as fishermen, we always say if we could have. There's nothing you can do about it. It's a woulda, shoulda, coulda. But if we could have went in and caught a limit of 12s, that's all we needed. A limit of 12s. That would have put us in I'm gonna say not in money and not in no contentions to win AOI or nothing like that, but it would have put us up there with some better points.
Yeah, it would have given us some points.
Yeah. I mean, we walked away with nothing.
Yeah, we walked away with. I mean, we zeroed the first day, and pretty much is if you can't get in the top 100, there's really
you can't even get in the top 50. It's no point.
So we just packed it up and just head home.
Yeah, I mean,
we could ship packages and all that stuff.
Yeah, we just got back and took care of business. So we leave there, and then there was a couple events we couldn't fish. Granted, we forgot to sign up for the Susky that day.
Yeah.
So we missed that.
Yeah, we missed that opportunity. We really wanted to fish that because that sets up like 100% our
kind of fishing.
style.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, fishing the James River, fishing Shenandoah, fishing all that stuff. That's our game. So we were really excited about that event. Missed the sign up. I mean, James called me. He was like, "Man, we missed the sign up, dude." Because they've seen it on Facebook. Everybody's in it. Sold out in like 6 minutes or something like that. And I'm like, crap. Which we still should have signed up because people that were like 60th on the waiting list got in.
Yeah.
And we just played. We were just stupid. Didn't sign up. So should have. But that's on us. And then so I'm looking back at points for bass. Okay, we're going into this and we're in good contentions. You're already qualified for the Classic.
Yeah.
With your top 3 finish. I was very close to my finish, but I was just out of it, from Fork, which could have changed a lot of things because then we could have been like, well, maybe we don't need to fish no more bass. You know what I mean? But then, you still got that point stuff in your head.
Yeah.
And then you had a family vacation going on. So we missed, it was going to be Smith Lake. Y'all went ATV and I was going to go, but I already told Matthew I'd go on his field trip.
Yeah.
And I had my mind set on Smith, and then it was the same weekend. So I was like, well, I'm not going to tell my son I'm not go on his field trip because I already promised him that. So, but then the other one was on Easter in Oklahoma.
Yeah, in eastern Oklahoma. And we just, together, we decided that our kids are kind of young and stuff like that. So we just wanted to spend Easter with the family. It would have been no way we could have made it back.
No. It was like 16 hour, 17 hour drive.
Yeah. It would have been no way.
Yeah.
Fish that day and come back and make it.
Church and Easter stuff and all that. So we turned that down, which, I hope that these series look at some of these things and being like, we're not going to have an event on Easter weekend. Yeah. We're not going to have an event on Father's Day.
Yeah.
Mother's Day, that kind of stuff, because that is tough on a lot of people. Some of these people, they can do it all the time and just, maybe don't have a father, maybe don't have a mother, maybe they just don't celebrate it, or it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
More power to you. I get you. But, like for a lot of these guys that are fishing these events, they're family men, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that on these, next year, they'll look at some of these things, be like, we're not fishing on Father's Day, Easter, Mother's Day.
Yeah.
You can't help birthdays. You can't help all the other things. I get that.
Yeah.
I don't want y'all to have a tournament. It's my daggone birthday. My family's going to kill me if I'm out of town. I'm sure people say stuff like, I'm sure somebody said something.
Yeah. But
anyway.
like some of the major stuff. That's all, and that's what we'll be looking at when, once all the schedules are finally out.
Hopefully, Bass, come on. Just kidding, Steve Owens. I know you got a lot going on, but please come out with the schedule soon. But they did do a small release on Kayak Bass Nation. I know Gunnersville's in the books already, but there's a few other. They're just working on finishing up a few details.
Yeah.
So, hoping to get that schedule out here soon. Really looking forward to that. Hobie's schedule looks good. I just think for what we got going on for next year with the bass boat tournaments, and we looked at their schedules, I'm hoping that bass fits better to those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and we're not going to fish like a ton of these things. We're just going to get our feet back wet in a few of these things, and we're still going to fish one of these series as one of the two.
Yeah, I want to go full bore one of the series.
Yeah, and we want to fish all of them.
Yeah.
That's the goal. And then it is, a few BFLs, or even maybe fishing open or so as a co-angler, more than likely, because there is no way to fish as a boater.
No.
On any of them, not with a they only were supposed to be 150.
Yeah.
And they upped it to 225, and they have 175 people fishing as the pros is fishing all of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would have if they only would have did the 150, there wouldn't be nobody fishing it but people that's fishing it full time.
Yeah. And we were a good part down the list.
Yeah. Yeah. The one that we did sign up for to fish as a boater, that one was, I mean, I think we're still on the wait list in the 20s, and they said that we will never make it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's no way. I mean, bass it's a lot of people switching over from MLF. There's guys that are just wanting to go pro now. You know what I mean? COVID's over. Some of these guys, they might have been saving up through this and couldn't fish all that because they didn't know what their business was going to do.
Yeah.
So now these guys are back on track because last year was only 80 that signed up for all of them.
And that was a record.
Yeah. It's 175. It's such a big deal that Bass is making like the Opens is going to be like the next pro series feeling. You know what I mean? It basically is, because I mean, you're fishing all 9 events.
Yeah. To me, they're mushing it more like the way FLW used to do, like with their Ever Starts.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I mean, but towards the end of last year, the final day, they're putting cameramen in the boats with those top anglers and actually live streaming the final day of the Opens. And I got a feeling that they're going to do a lot more of that this year, and they'll probably expand it into a couple days in there. Because, I mean, there's some big heavy hitters coming back in to fish the Opens. I mean, you got Bobby Lane, you got Ishman Rowe. I know Clark Ream, he's been doing this tournament stuff for a long time. He's, not as big a deal as Ishman Rowe and Bobby Lane, but I mean, there's
Milligan.
a lot.
Milliken's coming in.
Yep, Milliken. He's going to be fishing them all. And I kind of really like the way that he actually is doing it. Like, he done a video not too long ago about the way he wanted to get his presence out there first before he tried to become a professional angler, so he could he actually had a livelihood in the fishing industry before he
trying to go pro.
Yeah, before he went pro. And I think that's a pretty cool way to do it,
Yeah. Well, he's already got his followers. So now that when he goes into fishing these things, he's already got content. He's going to be out there fishing. He's going to be able to do all his practicing. I don't know how he's going to do it all, but like if he does all that, he's going to have a big presence with that. And I mean, he's already got sponsors now. So now he's also got his name bigger to saying, hey, now I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
So he's built his brand. now he can use it. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
built his brand and he's got something big going on now. And that's something that I've tried to tell other people. Like I talked to one of our customers the other day at Walmart. Actually, he's the one that, we designed a mount for, and he asked me. He said, "What is one of the biggest things you think that any fisherman should do to go to the next level to get sponsors and all that stuff?" And I was, the whole sponsor thing sounds cool. You get a jersey, you know what I mean? You get, but it doesn't make sense really.
Yeah.
Like I understand people like to promote their sponsors, and there's nothing wrong with these guys that's got jerseys and want to put them on, because we're on guys' jerseys.
Yeah.
Really appreciative of it.
Yeah.
But it's so much more than that. You know what I mean? Like trying to build this relationship and all that. But you want to make sure that you already got the social media presence. You're building your brand. That's always tell people, build your name, build your brand, and then the stuff will come.
Oh yeah,
It will.
Yeah, I mean, people will look out for you, and they start paying attention. You just got to keep posting and keep digging.
Yeah.
It's not a overnight success deal. You got to look at social media and Facebook and YouTube and everything like that is like a 401k.
Yeah.
It's not something that's just going to happen overnight and you're able to retire the next day.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not just going to hit it like a stock market or nothing.
No.
Like stock market, you could just hit it one day, you put a little bit of money in, the next day you're a millionaire.
Yeah.
That's not how YouTube works or social media.
And it's a 5-year plan, and it's a grind. Like it's like we were talking about earlier. We'd love to have more people. It's almost to the point of you almost need somebody doing social media nonstop every day.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Or just building product so you can keep designing more product, because there's so much stuff that you could design, but there's not enough hours in a day.
Yeah, sometimes we're so busy just shipping out what we already got for orders that we can't even design. I mean, we get a lot of messages all the time. Hey man, can y'all make this? Can you make that? And we'd love to.
Yeah. We'd also need probably $10 million to
Yeah.
buy every kayak that there is.
So if anybody's got $10 million they just want to throw away,
Yeah.
I can tell you where you can put
to
it.
buy a bunch of bass boats or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, beggars can't be choosy. So
Yeah.
I mean, we'll take it if you're willing.
Yeah. Chris, you say we got a question or something?
Oh no, Walton says hello, and then Elvis Lee says he just wants to say One Objective has the best kayak bow mount plates.
Oh man,
Perfect.
I appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. What's going on, Walt? Walt's one of our team guys. Very good dude, man.
And also, if you didn't see it, use code Hensley22 to get 10% off your order at oneobjectivebf.com. The code is good through Friday the 23rd.
There you go.
Look at that.
Jason's
dude trying
another-
to sell our
There
stuff
you go.
through
boy.
our One Objective
Yeah.
page.
That's
through our
that's
podcast.
hard work.
Yeah.
That's putting it. That's
Goodness.
grinding right there.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
And if you haven't followed those two guys, Jason Hensley or Walt,
Yeah,
go follow them on Facebook and
they got
build
some
their
good
brand
content
as well.
Yeah, they do
Yeah.
some good stuff. Especially Walt. He's in a totally different demographic than what we are. That's what I like about our pro staff guys. Like we got them everywhere. So and they're
Yeah.
all in different boats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Walt's he's a bona fide guy.
Yeah.
Jason, he's kind of limbo right now. He's running a bona fide, but
Yep.
but Walt does some good stuff with rigging, with his bona fide and all that stuff. And then Jason, he's got some good stuff with just big monster
Yep.
fish catches around here.
Yep. And he's on with Westbrook.
Yeah, Walt is. Yeah,
Yep.
Walt's on with Westbrook. So Westbrook's a good dealer of ours. Love working with Fletch and all them
Yep.
down there. So
If you need canine fishing line or whatever, reach out to
Jason.
Jason Hensley.
yep.
He's the man on that. He can put you in the right direction on that.
Yep, for sure. Kind of getting back to our 2020 season. We talked about our trips, and we didn't finish it up, but where we went to Winnipesaukee, we went to Wolf and Fox.
Yeah.
Two phenomenal fisheries. To be honest with you, going into Wolf and Fox, I know we're skipping over Winnipesaukee, but going into Wolf and Fox, I did not know that event was going to be as good as it was.
Yeah. Well, you had a better event than I did, but the second day,
But you still caught good fish even through practice.
oh yeah, I caught some good fish.
Yeah.
And then just, we just kind of,
We found two different
we
spots.
both fished two different ways. So,
Yeah.
and then, when we split and, you get confidence is all in what you feel where you need to be at.
Mhm.
And I mean, that's a huge key. And, I went there towards the end of the second day and ended up catching one good one. I caught one at the spot that you were fishing.
Yeah.
But confidence is key. And then when I went there the second day, I had a ton of confidence of where I was going, and then it just all
It took off.
it came together.
You had a really good day the second day. And
Yeah.
I do wish, because we took one car.
Yeah.
So we knew we were going to pick a boat up. So we took one car with the links on the top. We looked like
Yeah.
a bunch of adventurous. I mean,
Oh.
I'm telling you, man, we got 2 links stacked, rod box, whole back end's packed with tackle. You can't lay the seat back to take a nap. You know what I mean? Like we're
Yeah,
just
I mean,
loaded.
we were hardcore, and so we weren't fishing in the main kayaks that we normally would be fishing in,
Yeah.
which is a good thing because both spots we put in, there were public access areas, but there was no boat ramp
Mm-mm.
where we put in at.
No.
So we needed to carry what we did,
Yeah.
but it's a whole different thing when you got to rig that. When you think about just, I'll just load it up real quick and leave everything rigged. You're not going to do that with the way
No.
you got to disassemble everything to throw it on top of the car. And
I mean, you had to load your links and then come pick me up, and then we had to take yours off
yeah,
and then stack them, rewrap them,
oh,
and then
yeah.
put them on top of it. I mean, it was, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was an hour process by the
Yeah.
time it's all said and done. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. But we know, going into the 2023 season, there's going to be certain places we're going to travel together and
Mm-hmm.
do that. But there's probably going to be certain places that we're both going to take
2 cars.
2 different vehicles just
Yeah.
for that reason. And for practice reasons, we can break down the water easier.
Yep.
We can both go different spots. It was, I mean, we done really well
We did.
last year, even though, but
Yeah. But I mean, we were able to still break the water down. We didn't try to hit, like I see some guys hit so many different spots of the day. Most time we pick out what we think we're going to have the best chance at, and you just go with it.
yeah.
And it's a couple tournaments. I mean, we were, like for instance, going back in time here. I mean, we looked at this on the map and was like, we're going to fish here.
Yeah, and we rode around
Yeah.
and we seen that spot and we're like, nope, this is it. And then we just knew it and we put in. I mean, and we pretty much fished within sight of the ramp the whole time.
Yeah. We could see when new people were putting in.
Yeah, and we could see each other.
Yeah. The whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was stupid. We were two different points. I caught one fish off that point before you got there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, no, I'm sorry, later that day. Not
Yeah.
before you got there. I went around to another point. That's where I caught my 2 fish at, and my 3 fish. And then I came back around and I caught one smaller one. It wasn't real
Yeah.
big. And then you came back and just started, you hammered it before that, and then you caught your monster. You caught a super good one right before the time was it on the
Yeah.
first day.
Yeah, he was headed, you were at the boat ramp and I was
Yeah.
hollering at him to
Yeah.
watch the time because I was trying to get it in there right before time. But yeah, I mean, that's when Panoptics was
Yeah.
huge. And that's when it kind of changed the game, I think, for me and Josh,
Yeah.
really, with Panoptics. And now it clicked
Yeah. Something there
after
clicked with
that
it.
tournament. Then from then on, I mean, I probably would say, well, Wolf and Fox.
We didn't have it there.
Yeah, Wolf and Fox, we didn't use it, and I didn't use it at Winnipesaukee.
It was no need to.
Yeah,
I mean, I used it a couple times on some spots.
yeah,
I think I used the Humminbird 360 more on that one, just finding boulders out there.
yeah,
But I mean, you were cranking. I was Carolina rigging. You don't really see them down there on them boulders too much. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I know guys are going out deep
yeah,
and catching them off in boulders or catching, Justin Largan. He
Oh.
caught all his spawning.
yeah. Sight fishing.
But Mike Iconelli and him, I don't know what he did, but just looking at because you look at pictures when you're on
Yeah.
there and you see a lot of finesse baits. And
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling he was out there deeper.
Oh yeah, I
catching
think he definitely was deeper.
Yeah. So, but I mean, but to be honest with you, there really wasn't many. Toledo Bend, we used it.
Yeah.
That's how we found a couple spots, but we didn't catch fish off of it.
No, not at Toledo Bend.
We kind of found some spots with it, but like I say,
Yeah.
it was never, you never used it to catch a fish. But
Yeah. Florida, I used it. I was
Yeah.
surprised I used it at Florida, and that's how I figured out that I stayed where I was and caught those 2 first thing in the morning. I actually caught my 4th fish off of it when I seen that school go underneath me.
yeah. So
But-
it paid off there.
Yeah,
But basically after that, it really hasn't. I mean, it's helped a lot
Oh,
with
yeah.
practicing and
well, we've used it on our bass boats to catch.
yeah. Well,
few
we've been here
fish.
lately. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been a big tool, and I'm hoping that it'll set up great for us next year. I mean, we're going to make some changes with our Hobies and go on a little bit bigger graph on our Hobie.
Yeah.
We took the Humminbird off. We're going to take the other Garmin off and just go with one bigger graph
yeah,
on there. So, but kind of looking at 2022 season, what was one of the biggest things I will say that you learned, whether it be, the way you fish or seasonal stuff, or what was, I mean, if you can think of, what was one of the biggest things you learned traveling the road and fishing all these different lakes?
That you don't need to change up. You don't need to buy special stuff to fish everywhere.
Yeah.
Just because it's everybody says you need to have this, or this is what this does, or whatever. Fish the bait you use all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much. I mean, from everywhere we fished, I pretty much fished baits that I had confidence in fishing right here at Smith Mountain or down there at the Suffolk area or in the rivers down there. I mean, it's pretty much throwing the same things.
Yeah.
I mean, your confidence baits are your confidence baits, and you can catch fish on that stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty much everywhere. So I would say that just learning to just carry what you have confidence in, and don't worry about all the other mumbo jumbo.
And that's basically what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that I can catch fish anywhere on a watermelon seed lizard.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, no lie. That's what I used a lot of the year. It just kept working. So I was like, watermelon seed, red flake. Everywhere we went, I was throwing it all. And I never threw that hardly through the last several years.
Yeah.
I always do something else on a Carolina rig.
Yeah.
But in Florida, I was Texas rigging it, pitching around the lily pads and caught a few. And in Toledo Bend, I was dragging it.
Yep.
Fork, I don't think I used it much at Fork, but some of the other lakes we went to, Winnipesaukee, I threw it up there.
Yeah.
But like you said, you don't need, and we did it. We go to the tackle store and like, oh man, we got to get these because that's And half the time we never even threw that stuff. We always went back to a jig or a crankbait or a soft plastic that we always throw everywhere we go.
Yeah, pretty much caught everything off of 4 different types of bait. Some crankbait, a jerk bait was a big deal this year because of live scope.
Yeah.
And then a jig and just a Texas rig.
Yeah.
And well, we caught some fish off Carolina rig too. But I guess that's the 5 presentations we used and
all the way down through. I mean, it wasn't now Pickwick, when I went down there and fished that, for something clicked with the A rig for me down there. I've never done that great on an A rig.
Yeah.
And I was able to go down there and find just a wad of them, and got lucky basically. But a top water was a little more like Winnipesaukee. We did good with top water, but nowhere else we did good on a top water this year, did we?
I don't think so. I mean, Winnipesaukee definitely. Winnipesaukee was just like for me. I mean, I caught them on a top water. I caught them on a jig. I caught them cranking, and I caught them on a Carolina rig.
Yeah.
I mean, and I caught lots of fish doing each one, and it's just like, I mean, it seriously was probably one of the best fisheries. Let's say you're going to catch monsters every time you were going to catch something, but to catch fish, it lived up to the expectation of a northern fishery.
Yeah.
I mean, it was absolutely amazing. I mean, you could hone techniques better to actually learn what you needed to do. And like I know when I was fishing a popper in the morning and catching decent fish, and then that would kind of slow off, and then I could go and fish a Carolina rig, and my fish I caught on that was a little bit smaller, but they were upgrades from some of the popper fish or to finish the limit. And then I went crankbait, and I would upgrade a little bit there. And then, of course, when I went to the jig, I was able to, that's just a big fish bait, but you could work it, and maybe I should have skipped over a couple of other things because I knew I was going to catch.
Yeah.
But you never know if you're going to catch fish because all the other around here, if you catch 5 fish, you're doing
pretty decent.
But up there, catching 5 fish wasn't really a struggle.
Yeah. And it sucked because it was great because it was never a dull moment. But it also sucked because you're like, all right, I just called out a 7. I called out a 14, with a 17. You're like, I moved up 5 spots. Everything was so tight. And then if you moved up those 5 spots, let's say you caught a fish and you moved 20. Well, then all of a sudden, before you know it, you'd moved right back down because somebody's in caught. Like, it was so tight. The first day we went into it, I think I was 45th or 50th or something like that.
Yeah.
And I still had a chance.
Oh, yeah. because you weren't, but I think we weren't, but what?
4 or 5 inches or something like that.
It
Maybe
might have
6
been
inches.
10 inches.
Yeah,
So, but Justin Largan was
yeah, he was dominating.
crushing it, but we wouldn't have won it. But like 10 inches or something like that.
We still had a chance at a check.
Oh,
Going into day
absolutely.
2, you had a chance at a check.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was crazy to me. It was how much traffic was on that lake. It affected them to where you had to change up your presentation, but it still wasn't like they were still chomping, man. Like it just never slowed them down.
Yeah, I mean they ate all day.
Yeah,
I mean it was unreal.
yeah, I loved it. I really wish, and I hope bass schedules ain't out yet. I don't think it's going up there, but from what I hear, but I just hope that we get the opportunity to go up there again and fish.
Yeah, at some point in time, I would love to go up there again.
Yeah.
Knowing what we know now and carry that on to a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I started exploring a little bit more the second day towards the end of the day. And that last hour was amazing.
Yeah, you
It's
had
just-
a looking at the board. You're like, where am I at ahead of James? You know, or where? But you know, you also use it as a tool because we know how each other fish.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like, I bet she's doing this, or you know, we talk through practice and
Yeah.
and when we're back at the house, and you kind of know what you're doing. I'm doing, and I'm like, when I start seeing stuff going aboard, I'm like, oh crap, you know, like,
Yeah.
and you start looking at different stuff, you know, and but it was competitive for even if we knew that weren't going to do good, it was
Yeah.
still you had somebody to be competitive with, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
And it just out of friendly competition, but we always wanted to see both of us do well, you know, no matter what.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's
you're
the
always
name of
happy for the
game.
other one if he does do really well, you know.
Yeah.
But what were some things that you look back from last year that we could improve on? What are some things? I'll go first on this one because you took my answer on the last one, which you didn't know because we didn't discuss it. But mine was what I think we could improve on is breaking down water better when
Mhm.
we're there at the lake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we did a really good job this year.
Yeah.
I think we did, but I think there was some stuff that we would look at. All right, this is the kind of stuff we like to fish. This is where we're going to fish.
Yeah.
But there's also stuff like out of our comfort zone that maybe we should
Explore.
try and explore. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
that was just me. But you know, there's nothing. I think Santee Cooper. I look back at it and I'm like, I wish we would have tried, but we went everywhere on that. You know what I mean? Like we were at the lower end. We were at the
Yeah. That one just, for some reason, I don't know what it was about that one. It just wasn't in the cards.
yeah.
I mean, no matter what we did,
It made
it
you feel like an
wasn't
idiot.
right. I mean,
It did. It made you feel like we was new to fishing.
Yeah, I mean, it was a complete. I mean, it's a huge body of water as well,
Yeah.
and I mean, to only go there in a kayak, you know, your first time and trying to break these things down, and I mean, all of it looks wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it was set up just like I fish back home in the rivers.
Yeah.
Really. So, I had pretty decent confidence. I kind of knew what kind of baits I was going to throw and everything like that. And
Just didn't
no,
work.
it just wasn't working. I mean, and I fished a lot of stuff that I really thought was amazing
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I mean, I worked my butt off to get to it too, and then to fish it, and then
Just
it was
nothing.
absolute trash. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, oh man.
I mean, is there anything you think like improvement wise? I mean, that's what stuck out to me was like, I wish we would have broke down, you know, not all bodies of water was like that,
Yeah.
but sometimes I'm like, man, maybe we should have tried that or
Well,
went further.
definitely that would be one of the things that I would say is, you know, just breaking it down a little bit more. I think we've learned a lot from that, and we're already putting that into play now with our studying that we're doing for like the couple lakes that we know that we're going to go to. Like we know we're going to the Classic,
Yeah.
and fish that. So we know we're going to Chickamauga, and we know that we're probably going to fish the one at Gunnersville that's
Yeah.
been released. So we've been breaking down those two bodies of water and learning that stuff. So definitely that. I'm just trying to think of something else that we can improve on. And I think like what I said with my first answer, I think that just simplifying
Yeah.
the tackle that we bring to an event,
That's
you
a good
know,
one
you know,
because
just
we do bring a lot of stuff.
yeah. And I mean, there's certain things I think that when we didn't bring the tackle that we needed to New Hampshire to Wolf and Fox,
Mhm.
we kind of felt naked because we carried like 6 or 7 rods apiece. So we're happening to use sitting rods for different techniques and stuff like that. That you really can't simplify, because when we tried it,
It didn't work for
the
us.
confidence wasn't there in
Yeah.
some of it. But definitely simplifying and just putting more of the stuff that we normally use.
Yeah.
You know, like if we're going to use a certain spinner bait and we got confidence in certain colors, I want to make sure I got plenty of that
Mm-hmm.
bait. You know, certain chatter baits have certain those, and make sure we got enough packs of
Trailers and
trailers and, you know, like watermelon seed,
Yeah.
red, watermelon red lizards. I mean, because we were like, we only had like one pack or a
Yeah.
pack and a half of those, and I'm just like, hey Josh, can I grab one of those? And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, you got one pack
Yeah,
there.
man, they've been eating pretty
Yeah,
good. I
dude,
don't
know
here,
if I
here-
want to give you any.
here's
So-
one.
So just making sure that we have enough stuff. Like we don't need to pack the same stuff every time, because we can mooch
Work
off
off,
of each
yeah.
other. But having what we do have confidence in and having enough of it, so we can actually use it during practice.
Yeah.
To get our confidence built up in it, because like there's certain crankbaits and stuff that I used this year that I wouldn't tie on until tournament day,
Yeah.
because
You're scared of losing
they're
it.
expensive, and
Yeah.
you don't want to just lose them throwing it and some rock, and
Yeah.
that fish doesn't really matter during practice. But you do need to build your confidence up to fish that stuff, and
Yeah.
I think that I wish I would have done that a little bit more.
Yeah.
And
that's then kind of add to it. That's what I was kind of thinking. If talking about things to learn, breaking down water, that was the other thing I was gonna say was, like you said earlier, having more rods with different actions. Don't even have a reel on them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like just carry an extra 3 or 4 different rods with different actions, because you just never know. Like,
yeah,
you get up there and you might, oh man, I really needed another rod to do this
yeah,
with, because you kind of got on a little something different, But but yeah. I mean, I think that's good. I think it's when you can sit there as a fisherman and look at your following year and really break down, like, where did I screw up at, or where was my weaknesses at, or what tournament, like you say, talking about Wolf and Fox, what tournament that I did okay, but there was some improvement on it, like say tackle wise, we just didn't have. But then there's some tournaments, like you said, we'll go and we'll have everything. I mean, granted, when we went to Fork and Toledo Bend, we had to bring everything because we didn't know what we were getting into.
yeah. And that situation was extremely different too,
Yeah.
because I mean, we had to pack just even our clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to pack
That's
stuff
like
for
2 weeks worth of
complete
stuff.
winter and summertime conditions
Yeah.
all at the same time.
Yeah.
And then so you're trying to figure out tackle on a fishery that can be either way, because we knew it was going to be cold. So we had to carry winter stuff that we would use like around here also, and what we thought we might be using in almost springtime
Yeah.
up here, because we didn't know what
Yeah.
the water conditions were going to be. So that's a little tougher situation. That was definitely a different situation.
Yeah. So before we, just to wrap up 2022, what was one of your favorite lakes that you hit this year?
I mean, well, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It'd be Lake Fork.
Yeah.
Because where I did really well in that tournament, and I think it taught me not that it was just a good tournament. I had was placed third in the bass event. It taught me so much more about me as a fisherman.
Yeah.
And it actually taught me live scope.
Yeah.
I mean, so I would say that one for sure, and it because of multiple reasons. It was one, first off, is a bucket list
Yeah. Bucket list lake.
and then just learning what we did from that tournament. We've carried that on all the way through till now.
Yeah.
And we've just grown on that part of it. So I would say that would definitely for that whole situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. And so I'm going to say kind of the same deal. Like I say, you did good there. I actually got 2 lakes. One was Winnipesaukee, and then one was Pickwick Lake. And I had a good event there, but kind of like what you said, it showed as as a fisherman, you kind of knew where you were at. You know what I mean, and what you could do, and you learned new things there. For me, for Pickwick, was the reason why I liked it so much and was my favorite lake this year was
because I wasn't there.
some of that. I didn't have to compete against James. No, was I didn't have the help. You know what I mean? Like, granted, we stayed with Drew Gregory, we stayed with Tyler Bean and all them, and we all talked, but you're not getting the major juice. I mean, me and Tyler Bean talked a little bit, and when we talked about where he was fishing at and where I was fishing at, but I went against the grain on that one, where I knew everybody's gonna be mid lake and fishing grass and fishing the current and the all that stuff. I changed it up and went down, and was able to. I found what I like to fish. So, and I broke down an area that, granted, if it was a 3-day event, I don't think I'd have done any better. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I think I wore out the fish in that area. But I was able to kind of put what I've learned all year long to this in breaking down water. So I think that one sticks out to me more. Yeah, I had a good finish, but that don't really mean as much to me as even if I had a 30th place finish, but I went up there and I broke down the fish and found the fish.
Yeah.
I think that one has still stayed out just because, like say, I went into that thing confident.
Yeah.
And I never even touched it because I already had spots that I thought I wanted to fish. And I had a plan A, plan B, and plan C. Granted, plan C I went to, but and it worked out.
Yeah.
So, and kind of going into next year, I think we got enough confidence going into next year now that we had a great year. I'll say great year. Great year for us. It was a building year. We had a great building
first year of fishing those type of series.
Yeah. So going into next year, I feel really confident that we're going to do well of just what we've learned and put together from this season. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So
for sure.
But kind of going into 2023 season, like I said, we talked earlier, we're going to just pick one series. We're not sure yet. I mean, we've really kind of set our mind on bass. We just got to see, what the final schedule looks like. And then we're also going to be looking at once that's done, once that schedule's done, we can write that down in the books, and then we're going to start picking apart BFLs.
Yeah.
We've also talked about some team tournaments, some English choice, and all that stuff. We got the Ranger 198Ps now.
Yep.
Have you guys seen on our videos here lately? We've been decking them out. We're not getting out of kayak fishing. We still enjoy kayak fishing. We love
absolutely. No, we're not getting out of kayak.
But it's just a different avenue for one objective to grow business wise, making products, and not solely being and putting all our eggs in one basket, basically. Which the kayak market is really great. It's growing. We got some really great customers, and we have a good time designing new products that it's really not even out there on some stuff,
Oh yeah.
And we got, like I say, I was talking about the newsletter earlier to sign up. We got some new products that are going to be coming out 2023. I think some things are going to be, I really hate the word game changer. Everybody picks about it, game changer. But I do think we got some stuff that will be game changer.
Yeah.
Until other people figure it out and start, probably knocking us off or whatever. But, but I think we got some stuff that's going to be game changer for a lot of people.
Definitely be a need. In the kayak industry.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a big deal, especially when one comes out. I'm really excited about that. But like I say, 2023, it's going to be some more bass boat content. Our main goal for 2023, though, is to solely build One Objective Outdoors. One Objective Bass Fishing will still be building. We'll still be doing rigging and stuff on there. It's going to be all kinds of different content with that. But is building the outdoor part and teaching people, getting back to what we always started this podcast. Was teaching people techniques, tips, how we do things. And not saying,
not everything we do is right. But it's just the way we do it. So don't judge.
Most of the time it's not right. You know what I mean? Like it's, why the hell did you do it that way? This is how we've always done it. So that's how we do it. It works. I always tell you can't tell a man he's doing something wrong when he's fishing, not unless it's like something really stupid. But I've always learned too, it ain't nothing really stupid.
Like using a spinning reel upside down. And that's
just heartbreaking. You need to have your fishing license taken away.
Or if you think hand lining is actually taking the lure in your hand and throwing it in the water.
That kind of stuff. So I mean, like I say, we're gonna be building that. We got new products coming. We talked about the BFLs. We're gonna see how things go this year with the kayak series. Who knows? we might just fish kayak series the next year. But what we're looking in is maybe doing more BFL stuff 2024. You know what I mean?
Possibly, you
Yeah.
know, or maybe doing some more opens as a co-angler. We're just going to fill that out. We're going to
Yeah.
get through 2023 first and then see
See how it goes.
see what happens.
We got big dreams. And we see him out there. We're looking at him like that, you know. But it's just we just gotta see how it goes. But what was that, buddy? Was that a message or something?
Ryan Gymnasium sent a message about to play with family on Xbox. It's an Xbox message.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. And must be mad at you on Xbox or something. Anyways, so, but you know, like I said, I'm looking forward to trying some BFLs. I'm really looking forward to doing the Friday nighters and Saturday nighters. Like my son's wanting to get into some tournaments. He's talked about possibly wanting to join the high school fishing team next year.
Yeah.
So I'd like to get him out there on some Friday nighters and start getting him built into that. You know what I mean? Like I know fishing's not his favorite. He loves hunting. Like hunting is his jam right now.
Yeah.
But he's caught that big striper. He's seen live scope. He's enjoyed that. You know, how kids are with video games, man.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. So kind of like you took your son out and y'all
when he caught that. Yeah.
that spot. Yeah.
It wasn't a very big spot, but boy, he was excited about
Yeah.
it.
That was a 10-pounder to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's all
So
that matters.
yeah, as long as they're having fun, that's the
Yeah.
main thing. And you know, I look back when we did our 1-versus-1. I wish we'd have had our kids with us on that one because the spots that I got into down there, they would have had a blast. They could have thrown anything out there and probably caught them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, and I wanted to take Matthew down there after that. I was like, we got to go down there. I want you to catch it. But hunt season was in, and there was no way I could say, hey, let's go fish instead of hunting. He had no dealings with that. So, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to 2023. I'm just hoping that Bass will release their schedule soon. Like I say, Steve Owens is taking over. I think after watching Kayak Bass Nation and watching their interview with him, I think it's in good hands. I think Steve's going to do a really good job.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
And him being a kayak angler.
Yeah.
And running other events. He's run 2 other Bass Nation Club Series very successfully.
Very successfully.
So looking forward to seeing how he does with the bass stuff for next year. And I know that this year the schedule is going to be kind of wonky because
but I
he
think
come
that
in
next year he'll have that stuff ironed out.
Yeah,
because he's released all the schedule stuff for
everything else.
But it's just him trying to iron this stuff down.
Well, what it sounded like, he come into a cluster frig when he got in there. You know what I mean? And nothing was done.
Yeah,
the way it sounds. So he's having to basically, everybody already was getting their schedule set and basically ready. They were just waiting for some finals, and he's coming in like, I got to start from scratch, and all these dates already filled for these Chamber of Commerce, you know? So anyways, I think it's going to be a good season. If we can get through this season, I think 2024 for bass, kayak bass fishing is going to be really good. We can just get through this. So, but anyways, I think that's probably about it on what our 2023 is. Chris, have we got any questions or anything coming?
No, not right now.
Everybody say anything, just kind of chit chatting and listening?
Yeah.
One thing I did see on me and Jason and you were talking about and all that was Cashin had their customer appreciation day.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. Well, I kind of heard.
Yeah, through the
grapevine, but you just never know. But they had they were going through the pictures, and I seen the picture where they had the new Bonafide rods.
Yeah, the Boss Bass.
Yeah, the Boss Bass series rods. Seen them on a rack. I was like, man. So Cashin's making their rods.
Yeah,
you know,
Cashin's
so
making the Boss Bass rods.
Yeah, I was pretty. I mean, like say you hear, and then you look at it, and you're kind of taken back, and I'm like, man, that's a Cashin rod for a little bit higher,
$400.
Yeah, I'm like, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's got a cool gauge and everything on it for what you're doing.
The logos to tell you what to use it with.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to crack on them or nothing. I'm just kind of looking at pricing, and I'm like, well, Cashin's making it. But why does it cost?
More than any Cashin rod that you can.
Yeah, buy. So, but
that's just kind of what we're putting together.
Yeah, that's just what we're kind of getting. But like I say, we heard it through the grapevine, seen it on there, and I was like, interesting. So, see how that goes. Just curious, but
yeah, it's got the gauges on it. like you're tensioning on your old school bass fishing game.
Yeah, that's what we
Yeah.
were wondering if it'd rev it out.
Yeah, yeah,
So they-
You know when it's going to hit the red line and your line's going to snap or something. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what they're for. Or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Gotta see
maybe
if
it's like a
it's-
boost gauge or something. to let you know how much torque you got behind it or something. I don't
You lay
know.
into it, and you start seeing it move. You're like, I
Yeah,
gotta ease
it
off
starts
of it.
ticking.
Don't blow the hose off of it. Let it boost on.
Oh man,
Yeah,
not picking. I just seen it, and
kinda
it just
we are a little bit.
yeah, we are. I guess we are a little bit. I guess we are a little.
Sugarcoat.
Yeah, let's not sugarcoat it, but let's not be total douchebags. But it just is. It just
That's
is. You know, like
Yeah.
it confirmed. It confirmed what we thought. You know
Yeah.
what we heard. But anyway,
But Cashin does make a great rod.
Yeah.
We're not knocking
no, not knocking
that at
cash.
all. We're just
Just yeah, just oh, you hear my dogs going off. But anyways, yeah, Cashin makes great rods. We've looked into their rods several times before.
Yeah.
You know, we went over to fishing G Loomis's and stuff, and we still try other rods. We ain't set on no rod.
we're not sponsored by any rod
No, no.
company.
no.
Yeah, but if anybody knows anybody looking,
yeah, if you
we might.
G Loomis, if
Somebody
you're
knows
looking for
somebody
some to
knows
go,
somebody.
Yeah,
yeah. If you got a cousin that's got a brother that's got
yeah.
two sisters
Gary
has a
wants
brother.
to know is, what amp hour do y'all recommend for an XI3 GPS trolling motor?
At least an 80.
Yeah, at least an 80.
80 or above.
Yeah, after I mean an 80, I ain't had no problems on my 80.
Yeah,
But I always tell people go with more than what you need
yeah.
because
It
you
ain't
never
much
know.
difference in the price jump from an 80 to
Yeah.
100.
Yeah, and I mean,
I would run a 100.
yeah,
But if you're looking to cut a price a little bit, 80 would be plenty, but nothing
Nothing lower.
lower than an 80.
I see stuff, and me and James chuckle about it all the time. And I know that some of these brands probably say that their battery will do it, but I see people running 50 amp hours, 60 amp hours on an XI3. And let me tell you something: if you're running 1 or 2 speed, you know what I mean. I don't know how they judge it
Yeah.
because it's all you got a button you go up and down with, but when you're running those lower speeds all day long, it might be okay.
It'd be perfect.
But when you get 2 miles up, 3 miles out, and a storm comes in,
Oh no.
or you get somewhere where you got a pile load of current, you could burn it up quick. I mean, because you're going to want to crank it. You're not going to be like, oh man, that storm's coming. Let me cut it on 2 because I don't want to run out of juice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only thing that I wish that the Hobie series would have allowed is, like in a situation that we got into on Toledo Bend.
Yeah, that was bad.
It would have been wonderful to have had a motor.
Yeah.
At that, because a lot of people didn't make it in till a lot later. Like they had to
Yeah, they had
pull
to
up
call
and
it
just-
ahead.
Yeah, and just stop and just tell, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it in by the time that I need to be in for.
Yeah.
So certain situations like that, I understand why they do it with the
It's
no
whole
motor,
marketing thing and all that, but
at the end of the day, it doesn't. I guess it gives you advantage if you don't have one.
yeah.
But if everybody has one, there's really not much advantage.
Yeah, it's not
in
much of a disadvantage. Most people are running them now. Most people that are running the Hobie series or running most of the bass stuff. I'm not saying not everybody, but it's a good. If you look at the percentages, I'm going to say 75%.
Yeah,
Or got some kind of motor that they can put on.
yeah, for practice.
Yeah,
And then, so in that circumstance, but Hobie makes such a great platform that you do not need a motor all the time.
you really don't.
So just because you have a motor on the front doesn't mean you're going to use the
Yeah.
motor the whole time. I know I don't.
I
And
hardly run.
our kayaks are set up to run them on the front and the back.
Yeah.
And
Most of the tournaments, we never touched them.
yeah, we used them some, but like not a lot. And with the tournaments we fished, we really didn't need to use them.
Yeah, we fished right there.
Yeah.
So,
So,
granted, maybe we would have practiced. Maybe we would have went further out if we had.
yeah, and I think that we got used to. It was our first year really running the Hobies in a tournament series like that too, and that's one thing I would say that we should have done. I guess going back to the other question, is explore more from the boat ramp.
Yeah.
With having the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
putting the
we
motor
should
on
have
and going.
explored a little more and got away a little bit more from some
Yeah.
of the crowd, but we didn't have a lot of crowd around us most of the time anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't bad. So, I mean, a lot of times you found good water. I mean, we rarely ever had anybody. I mean, Fork, we had some people put in at the ramp that wasn't there the day before. It was the only ones there the first day.
yeah.
And then we broke it down to them where we were fishing at, and they were cool. They left us alone. But I mean, other than that, I didn't really have nobody like, man, they're on my spot. You know, man, I was fishing at and they're on my spot. I really didn't have none of that this year in both
And
series.
everybody that we talked to in the kayak series and everything like that, they're very courteous, and
Yeah.
we didn't have any issues with anybody.
Yeah. I mean, I hear stories.
Yeah.
Everybody's got, you know, I'm sure there's a guy here and there that's, you
Maybe
know,
we
but
didn't do good enough.
yeah, maybe they're like, I ain't worried about them dudes. They're fishing there. Okay. Well, I know I don't need to fish there. So, but yeah. I wouldn't go, getting back to your question, I wouldn't go under 100. So what we do is rule of thumb, if you're running a 30 pound to 40 pound thrust motor, I don't recommend anything. So we go up to about 60. You can go higher if you want, but I don't recommend anything under 60 amp hour.
Yeah.
We used to run 50s on our
Yeah.
30s, and they were fine. But I ran into an issue at the New River when I got into some flooded water. There was a lot of current. I had to use it wide open, and I burned it up pretty quick. That I was done pretty quick.
Mhm.
So, but for most of the time when we were running our kayaks, I mean, 50 amp hour on a 30 pound thrust motor lasted. I mean, we run up the James River 3 miles with that thing,
Yeah.
and still had some left.
Oh yeah, plenty.
So, but you know, getting to that, I'd say if you're going to run an XI3, I tell people, me and James both, like he said, don't go under 80. But if you can get to 100, go to 100. That's what I would do. I mean, for what the cost is, you can spend a little extra money.
Yeah.
And I mean, the way we sell them anyways, it comes with charger and everything on our website.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, other than that, if you got any other questions, guys, get them in real quick. We're going to kind of wrap this thing up. Like say, if you're just tuning in or you've been tuned in, you ain't done it yet, please go check out One Objective Outdoors. Hit the subscribe button. Also hit the subscribe button here if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or whatever. Give us a follow, like.
Yeah.
We're on pretty much all the main social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
Subscribe to that newsletter.
Yeah, subscribe to the newsletter
because that'll be where this, we'll post the newest videos. It's going to be coming out for that week, and it's just one on a Friday.
Yeah, one a week on a Friday. Every once in a while, we'll do a bonus one.
Yeah, we might sneak one in on you every now and then, but we're not going to overload you.
No,
we promise.
We don't like spamming nobody's stuff.
You won't get one every day.
No. I got some that.
For one, we're not going to send that.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that.
No, I remember when I was on when 5x3, I think they're starting to make a comeback. I don't know. But, when 5x3 used to make them shirts, and I signed up, I ordered a shirt or something one time and put me on their newsletter. And, man, every day, I was getting an email. And I'm like, man, my spam was full of it. So
Unsubscribe from email.
yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
And guys that are watching that are on, that bought a product because it put you on our newsletter. If you don't want it, there's an unsubscribe button. We've had some people got really irate about it. There's an unsubscribe button on the bottom. So just letting you know. But you shouldn't do it because you get all our newest products and videos,
sales and all that stuff. Yeah.
Might miss a discount code like Hensley22, 10% off your order at oneobjectivebf.com.
Exactly.
Through Friday
Yeah.
the 23rd.
There you go. Exactly.
And don't forget the discount on the Waterland sunglasses.
Yes.
One objective for 15% off Waterland sunglasses.
Yep.
All caps.
All
Man.
caps.
Man, he's like,
He's on it, man. That's what's
Man,
dude.
he's like, man,
He's the dude.
yeah. I mean,
He's running the show.
he-
He keeps us straight.
he's gonna probably take care of Drew Carey.
Yeah.
Price is Right or something.
Yeah.
That's
There
all
you
right.
go.
Gary says he's looking forward to the mountain getting everything installed to make catfishing better next year.
Oh man, you're
Oh,
gonna
right
love
on.
it for
He's a
catfishing.
budget builder, and we'll check out the battery packages soon.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, if you ever got any questions, any of you guys, you got any questions with rigging, always feel free to reach out to us. You can call us, you can email us. I'm telling you now, emails, messages, we do pretty decent with email responses, but sometimes they just don't come through. They get sent to spam for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But if none of that works, call us because we are always willing to talk to anybody
Yeah.
about rigging their kayaks. Some people, they don't like to talk on the phone, I guess. I don't know, but we've had some people get pretty irate about it. But I can tell you, our phone number is right there on the website. Call us within business hours, and we'll get you straight. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
If we don't have it, we know where to send you to get it.
Yeah.
So-
and we can even do it on your bass boats and stuff now.
Yeah,
Too.
yeah.
For
We're getting,
certain things that we make, hit us up for that as well.
yeah, and I mean, like say, we're kind of in that rigging season right now. We're going to be good all the way up to about end of February. After that, it's going to be hard for us to put some of the rigging jobs in until after probably about April, where it'll kind of slow down a little bit. But right now, if you want your kayak rigged or you want to estimate on getting your kayak rigged, feel free to call us or email us, and we will get you set up and try to get you in the door to get your kayak rigged. So right now, January, February is rigging season. We get pretty booked with that. It gets pretty busy. So make sure you reach out to us and so we can get you in the books. But other than that, Chris, we got anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well,
All right.
James, I appreciate you coming in, man. I know you
it's been
guys are going to
fun.
be hitting the road here in a left me.
Well, I guess my wife's already gone. She
Oh,
left me.
she didn't.
Yeah, she
Turn and
left me.
burn.
Yeah, so good thing I burned my own car because if not, I mean, I don't know what we'd be doing. don't
I
know
guess
if
you need to stay with me
yeah,
for us.
well, I'm Big Spoon. That's all I'm saying.
Well, there you go.
You ain't sleeping in my bed. but guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the show tonight. It was fun having James in studio. We're going to try to maybe do some more of these through the week, like on Tackle Tuesdays or I don't know, something. It just depends. We're really busy, so it's really hard to work them in. But it's say if you do enjoy the show, hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button. Also, if you listen on iTunes, please go in there and give us hopefully a 5-star rating with a description why you like the show.
Oh, yeah.
Extent. Don't get mean, please. But but other than that, guys, we'll talk to you later. Y'all have a safe and fun holiday season. Merry
Yep.
Christmas to everyone,
Yep.
and hope you have a happy New Year's.
Yep. Merry Christmas, everyone.
See ya.